374, 375, 376, 377, 378, 379, 380, 381, 382.
What's going on, Larry?
Oh, hi, Al. Just doing some crunches, trying to get shredded before the holidays.
Oh yeah? Would you believe me if I told you you're just wasting your time and you're really not getting anything done?
Look who's talking, Al. My personal trainer said if I did 1,000 crunches a day, I'd be in shape in no time.
Oh, did he? Why are you so worried about a six-pack, Larry? What about these fat titties and these fat triceps? Why don't you work on those first?
One goal at a time, Al. Just working on my six-pack. Nothing else matters right now.
All right, before I go into this, I want to start off by explaining to you what it really means to have a strong core. I don't care if you have a six-pack, a visible six-pack, I don't care what your body fat percentage is. Just because you have a six-pack does not mean you have a strong core. If you can overhead press your body weight, you have a strong core. If you can squat 400 pounds all the way down without crumbling forward, you have a strong core. If you can deadlift 500 pounds without looking like a scared cat, then you have a strong core. If you look at what the role of the core is, it's meant to support your spine. So if you look from here to here, the only thing holding me up is my spine. So all of this is all muscle and organ. So if you look at the role of the core, it's to hold you upright, okay? So I don't care what your six-pack looks like. If you look at strong men, they have extremely strong cores, even though they don't have a visible six-pack. Their body fat percentage is higher, but they still have very strong cores, regardless of whether or not their six-pack is visible. But I know the majority of people don't care about how strong their core is. All they care about is whether or not they have a six-pack, because everyone knows that's all that matters in life. The secret to getting a six-pack is not how many crunches you do. You cannot spot reduce. If you are fat and you do crunches all day, every day, you will not see visible abs. You cannot spot reduce. You have to lose overall body fat percentage if you want to have visible abs. If you have fat man tits and fat triceps and a fat gut, no matter how much you do crunches, your gut will not change. Have you ever seen anyone walking around with fat arms and fat chest and shredded six-pack? Your body doesn't work like that. You have to lose overall body fat percentage. If that was the case, you would see all kinds of people in commercial gyms with six-packs, because all the fat people just crunch all day. I want to get a six-pack, so I'm just going to do crunches all day. Doesn't work like that. You have to lose overall body fat. Abs are made in the kitchen. It's not necessarily what you are or aren't doing in the gym. It's what you're doing with your diet that is going to get you visible six-pack. If you want to lower your body fat percentage, you need to stop doing crunches and probably put down that Pop-Tart. But Phil Heath does crunches. You're not Phil Heath, and Phil Heath does a lot of stuff that you don't do. So stop crunching. Instead, you should focus on the core lifts: squatting, deadlifting, and overhead pressing. You don't even have to think about engaging your core, because you cannot perform these lifts without engaging your core. I did heavy front squats yesterday, and my obliques are extremely sore. I didn't do any abs, and you can really feel the soreness if you do it properly. I'm gonna go as far as to say that crunches are bad for you, and you should never crunch again. As human beings, we're designed to stand upright. And what happens with our lifestyle is that we do a lot of sitting. We sit at school on our desk, we sit on the computer at work, we drive home seated like this, and then we get to the gym and everyone wants to do all the muscles that you can see in the mirror, and that's it. So we crunch, and then we go do some bench press and really tighten our pecs. We tighten our front delts, we do some biceps and tighten. And what happens is, if you ever notice when you do crunches, that your hip flexors take over and your hip flexors start doing the work rather than your abs. So what happens is we get tight hip flexors and tight abs and tight front pecs or pecs and delts. So we're walking around like this and you are no longer functional. So you can't squat, you can't deadlift, you can't overhead press, and you're pretty much useless. So stop crunching. If you insist that you do crunch, do so for strength purposes, not for aesthetic reasons. You should not crunch to get a six-pack. You should only crunch if you're going to strengthen your abs. But if you're gonna do that, you need to have just as much movement the other way as you do crunching. So as many crunches as you do, you should probably do extensions like deadlifts to even it out so that you don't have pattern overload and you're hunched over. That's it, guys. Hope that helps. Now go out there, get a six-pack, and make some more friends. And always remember, train untamed!
Lovely, 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 love.